Hello everyone, I would like to introduce myself. My name is Brian, and I am the newest member of the High Stakes team. Now I'd like to commence this video with a request for those interested in receiving more premium betting tips and predictions. If our guidance has contributed to your success in winning bets and generating revenue, we kindly seek your support in revitalizing this channel. Your assistance plays a crucial role in bolstering our presence on YouTube. You're welcome to explore our Patreon support tier or check out our various plans. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you seeking our premium picks. On this video, I am going to give you my best picks for today. Los Angeles Angels vs. Chicago Cubs. Go with the Chicago Cubs to pick up a win in this game and continue their win streak. And here is why. The Chicago Cubs have been struggling this year and are coming off Friday's 5-1 home win to begin this series. The team went 9 for 33 with 2 walks and 6 strikeouts in the game. Seiya Suzuki hit a home run and the team went 3 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Justin Steele pitched a complete game and allowed 1 run in just 95 pitches. Righty Kyle Hendricks is going to be towing the slab for the Chicago Cubs for this game and is 1-6 with a 7.48 ERA and a 1.53 WHIP in 61.1 innings. His inability to keep the ball in the park has been one of his biggest weaknesses as hitters have 13 homers against him. Hendricks is coming off a loss against the Milwaukee Brewers. He pitched 3.2 innings and allowed 7 runs on 7 hits with 1 walk and 3 strikeouts. The Los Angeles Angels have been struggling this season, and the 5-1 road loss to begin the series encapsulated how things have gone for them. The team was just 2 for 30 with 2 walks and 7 strikeouts. The team did not record an extra base hit, and there was not one player in the lineup who got on base multiple times. The team went just 1 for 2 with runners in scoring position and left 4 Angels on base. The bullpen did well as they allowed 1 run on 3 hits without any walks in 3.2 innings of work. Left-hander Tyler Anderson is going to be taking the ball for the Los Angeles Angels and is doing pretty well as he is 7-8 with a 3.03 ERA and a 1.24 WHIP in 104.0 innings of work. His command needs to show a massive improvement as he has 47 walks to 67 strikeouts so far this season. Anderson is coming off a losing effort against the Detroit Tigers where he pitched 4.2 innings and gave up 6 runs on 7 hits with 1 walk and a pair of strikeouts. When looking at the starting pitching numbers during June, they have been able to show a bit of a difference as Tyler Anderson was 2-3 with a 4.15 ERA and a .256 batting average against in 34.2 innings, while Kyle Hendricks was 1-2 with a 3.60 ERA and a .22 opposing batting average in 25.0 innings. These bullpens have been on 2 different levels throughout the season as Los Angeles is 28th in Major League Baseball with a 4.71 reliever ERA while Chicago is 19th in the sport with a 4.25 bullpen ERA up to this point. New York Mets vs. Pittsburgh Pirates take New York to win, and here's why. David Peterson will toe the rubber for the Mets in the second game of this series. Peterson did not factor into the decision in last Monday's 9-7 win versus Washington, allowing 2 runs on 7 hits and 1 walk over 6.1 innings to go along with 2 punch-outs. He scattered 7 singles en route to his 3rd quality start of the season. After issuing 8 free passes across 10.1 innings in his previous 2 outings, Peterson was much sharper in this game, walking fewer than 2 for just the 2nd time this season in 6 starts. The 28-year-old now holds a 3.51 ERA, 1.44 WHIP, and 22.14 KB beam 33.1 overall innings. On the 4th of July, the Mets mustered just 1 hit against Washington's Jake Irvin in a 1-0 loss. The Mets were blanked for the 7th time this season and were held to only 1 hit in a game for the first time since a loss to Milwaukee on opening day. Kodai Senga's shoulder triceps is scheduled to throw roughly 50 pitches in his next minor league rehab start next week, which Mets manager Carlos Mendoza said will likely be Tuesday with Triple S Syracuse. Baltimore Orioles vs. Oakland Athletics take over 8.5 runs, and here is why. Oakland displayed remarkable pitching in their sweep of the Angels, highlighted by Joey Estes pitching the first complete game shutout by an A's pitcher since Sean Manaea in 2021. J.P. Sears delivered 5 scoreless innings in the series finale, a much-needed turnaround for the lefty, while Mitch Spence allowed just 1 run in 5 1/3 innings on Tuesday. In total, A's starters combined for 19 1/3 innings with just 1 run allowed. Offensively, the A's broke through their usual 3 runs per game limit, scoring 5 or more runs in each game of the series. Brent Rooker led the charge with an RBI in each game and 6 hits in total, including 2 home runs, strengthening his case for another All-Star game selection. Lawrence Butler also contributed 2 home runs, adding to the A's series total of 5. Thursday, the A's batters maximized their opportunities with just 4 hits, showing uncharacteristic patience and discipline by drawing 9 walks and striking out only 5 times. However, the magic didn't last to the weekend. The Athletics' struggles against pitching were highlighted once again as Albert Suarez delivered an impressive performance for the Baltimore Orioles. Suarez, who was retained in the starting rotation over Cole Irvin, showcased the form that made him a surprise standout in April. The 34-year-old right-hander pitched a season-high tying 6+ solid innings at the Oakland Coliseum, allowing only a pair of solo home runs during his 86th pitch, outing in a 3-2 win over the A's. Suarez, who tossed 6 scoreless frames in his previous start against the Rangers, demonstrated his reinvention as a hard-throwing, fastball-dominant pitcher after spending 5 years in Japan and Korea. He retired 17 of the 19 batters he faced between solo homers by Miguel Andujar in the first inning and Shea Langeliers in the 7th. The Orioles rank first in several offensive categories, including runs, home runs, RBIs, and slugging, and they are in the top 5 in hits. Their potent lineup is capable of putting up big numbers consistently. Both starting pitchers, Baltimore's Cade Povich and Oakland's Luis Medina, have eras over 4.00 and losing records. Povich's 4.05 ERA and Medina's 4.800 ERA indicate that runs are likely to be scored against them. Statistically speaking, the Orioles have a strong over-under record this season: 4.43-4.10 overall, 2.2164 on the road, and 1.391 against the AL West. Lastly, the practical logic. Baltimore's offense has been firing on all cylinders, and with Oakland's pitching staff being relatively weak, the Orioles are poised to take advantage and put up significant runs. Additionally, the Athletics' occasional offensive bursts, as seen in their sweep of the Angels, suggest they can contribute to the total as well. Detroit Tigers vs. Cincinnati Reds take over the total, and here is why. The Cincinnati Reds have been playing poorly throughout the season as we surpass the halfway mark. The team is 4th in the NL Central right now as they have a 42-46 record heading into this game. The Reds have been hitting at a terrible level at the plate right now as they have a .227/.303/.378 team /line and are scoring 4.3 runs per game. The Reds have been depending on the production of a jack of all trades and shortstop Elly De La Cruz .823 ops 43 SB, and they need to figure out how to continue improving as the season progresses. Righty Hunter Green 5'4", 3.70 ERA, will be on the mound and is coming off a loss against the St. Louis Cardinals, where he gave up 1 run on 4 hits with a pair of hit by pitches, 2 walks and 6 strikeouts in 4.2 innings. These teams were able to score 9 total runs on Friday night against one another, and it helps create some confidence in the offenses for this game. These teams have been dominant with runners in scoring position throughout the season thus far as they are tied with one another for 7th place in Major League Baseball. Both the Detroit Tigers and Cincinnati Reds have a .793 team ops with runners in scoring position thus far. Hunter Green has allowed at least 4 runs in 3 of his last 6 starts, while Matt Manning has been struggling in terms of getting back to the majors, as he has pitched to a 4.96 ERA in 10 games in AAA Toledo this year. Toronto Blue Jays vs. Seattle Mariners go with under 8 runs, and here is why. The Toronto Blue Jays have been playing poorly this season as they are last in the AL East, as they are 16.0 games back in the division and 8.5 games behind in the AL wildcard. Their offense has been doing decently well as they are tied with the Los Angeles Angels for 17th in the league with a .686 team ops and scoring 4 runs per game. The team has been unable to hit for a large amount of power as they are the 3rd worst in the sport with 78 total home runs thus far. First baseman Vladimir Guerrero Jr. has been doing well at the plate as he has recorded a .296/.373/.467/ line with 13 home runs, 50 RBI, 42 runs scored, and a pair of steals without being caught. This Blue Jays lineup has a lot of good hitters, but things need to change before a fire sale in Toronto happens. The Blue Jays are going to have rookie right-hander Yariel Rodriguez on the mound, and he has been able to pitch at an okay level in his first 6 starts of his career. He is 0-3 with a 4.63 ERA and a 1.54 WHIP in 23.1 innings of work. Hitters are making good contact against him, as they have a .256 batting average against him. Rodriguez is coming off a losing effort last time out against the Houston Astros as he pitched 6.2 innings and allowed 1 run on 2 hits with a pair of walks and 6 strikeouts. These lineups have been absolutely terrible in the last week of action, as the Blue Jays are averaging 3.83 runs in their previous 6 games played, while the Mariners are struggling even more, as they only scoring 2.4 runs in their last 5 games. Neither team throughout the season has been able to hit, and these rookie pitchers are coming off solid outings heading into this game. Philadelphia Phillies vs Atlanta Braves take Philadelphia Phillies moneyline, and here's why. It took some time for everything to mold together in the city of brotherly love, but the Phillies are finally playing up to their potential. They've been having a monster season, going 5-8-3-0 out of the gate. This record is good enough for first in the NL East, where they have a 1-0.0 game edge over the second-place Braves. Phillies' .659 win percentage is the best in the entire MLB. Despite that fact, Philadelphia is just $5.50 to win the World Series, which is the second shortest price behind Los Angeles D320. Philadelphia earned a win in the series opener, toppling Atlanta in an 8-6 affair. Trea Turner led the way offensively, blasting a pair of home runs while racking up 4 RBI. Aaron Nola looked good in his start, recording a win in a 6.0 inning effort, while allowing just 3 earned runs. Ranger Suarez will toe the rubber Saturday night, and the 28-year-old has been a force for Philadelphia this year. The Southpaw enters the weekend at 102 with a 2.27 ERA second and 0.99 WHIP 8. His 99 strikeouts are the 28th most in the MLB. With that being said, Suarez is coming off of his worst outing of the year, a 4.2 inning effort against the Marlins where he surrendered 6 earned runs on 10 hits and 2 walks. It was a no-decision effort in a game the Phillies battled back to win 7-6. Friday night's 8-6 defeat fell on the arm of Max Fried, who conceded 5 earned runs on 11 hits over 6.0 innings. Offensively, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley, and Marcell Ozuna all homered in the losing effort. Spencer Schwellenbach is one of the pitchers who's trying to plug the gaps in a banged-up Atlanta rotation. The rookie has made 6 starts this year, but he's just 1-4 with a 5.68 ERA and 1.29 WHIP. Most recently, Schwellenbach faced the Pirates and gave up 4 earned runs on 5 hits and 2 walks. The 24-year-old took a loss, marking his second straight losing effort. Milwaukee Brewers vs Los Angeles Dodgers take under 8.5 runs, and here is why. In drop the finale of a 4-game set at Colorado, the Brewers split their first 4 games of their current 7-game road trip. The offense was 3rd in the National League with 422 runs over 88 games, and their 4.8 runs per game average ranked 9th overall. They came into this series slashing .257/.333/.399 with 234 extra base hits and 120 stolen bases, second most in the league. Milwaukee batters have drawn 321 walks and struck out 754 times. William Contreras picked up another 2 hits on Thursday, bringing his batting average to .298 in 85 games played, the 7th best mark in the NL. The Brewers catcher has 31 extra base hits, 51 RBI, and 59 runs scored, 3rd most in the league. The Milwaukee pitching staff entered Los Angeles with a 3.71 team ERA, 4th best in the National League. Starting pitching had a 21-22 record with a 4.15 ERA, while the bullpen arms were 3.114 with 32 saves and a 3.20 ERA. The staff as a whole retired 696 batters by way of strikeout and served up 270 base on balls. Peralta was a winner in his last outing, allowing just a run, 2 hits and 2 walks over 7 innings. The right-hander struck out 8 batters in the win, the 6th time he struck out at least that man batters in a game this season. Peralta has enjoyed success against the Dodgers in his career, going 2-1 with a 1.80 ERA in 4 starts against them. The Dodgers were dumped in their last 2 games against the Diamondbacks, prior to welcoming in the Brewers for the weekend. They were still leading the league with 443 runs scored in 88 games, and their 5.03 runs per game average was 2nd best in the game. Los Angeles hitters /.255/.334/.437 and had 297 extra base hits with 50 stolen bases. They had also struck out 712 times while drawing 334 walks. Rookie Andy Pages went 2 for 4 and scored a run in Thursday's loss. The center fielder came into this series having his safely in 6 straight games. Pages is hitting .260 in 68 games with 22 extra base hits. In the pitching department, Los Angeles hurlers compiled a 3.54 team over, the 3rd best mark in the National League. The starters were 3.321 with a 3.73 ERA and their relievers were 2.014 with 25 saves and a 3.29 ERA. Overall, they recorded 750 strikeouts while allowing 265 free passes. Paxton picked up just his second loss of the season in his last start, after allowing 9 runs and 12 hits in 4 innings. This came on the heels of 3 starts in which he allowed a total of 2 runs in 18 innings. The Brewers are one of just 2 teams in the majors which Paxton has yet to face in his 11-year career. We have 2 good offenses and 2 strong pitching staffs in this one. Last season, they underwent 3-2-1, as the 2 teams averaged a combined 7.7 runs per game. In 5 of those games, at least one of the teams scored 2 runs or fewer. Prior to this series kicking off, Milwaukee scored 3 runs in 3 of their last 6 games. The Dodgers scored 4 or less in 7 of their last 9 games. Noted above, Paxton has pitched very well at Dodger Stadium this season, allowing a combined 5 runs over his last 3 starts there. I like a nice pitcher's duel to dominate the early goings of this one.